congratulations on behalf of the faculty and staff of Seisen International School. So here we are in the chapel. We're masked. We don't have the normal situation of proud family members sitting there taking photographs and asking you to pose and asking you to pose again. And we don't have our regular reception after this because times have changed. So in the age of COVID-19, in an age when there's so much unrest around the world, why is this ceremony and why is this society even still relevant? Well, I ask you to take a look at the symbolism of the candles that were lit today. The four pillars: leadership, scholarship, character, and service. These areas of life are perhaps more relevant today than for the generation of Seisen students who have gone before you. You're the generation of scholars living through COVID-19. You're more than a virus. Yes, you have to deal with the challenges. Yes, you have to deal with the known about the virus and indeed the unknown, because we really don't know what the effects of this will be, not just from a medical sense, but in years to come, from a social sense, from a political sense, and from a personal sense for all of us. But you know what? You have the grit to overcome all of this, and you have the grit to get through. Because you're Seisen students, you're Seisen young learners. The spirit of the NHS at Seisen comes from the sisters. Yes, initially it's an organization coming out of the US. But really, if you look at it, the spirits of the sisters really imbue this. Think about it. When the sisters came in the early 1930s, long before even, our high school administration was born, they came into pre-World War II Japan, and they have to deal with that. And they have to deal with post-World War II Japan as well. Imagine being them, those young Spanish women who came. Some of them, believe it or not, were not much older than you are today. They were in their early 20s, mid-20s, and mid-20s. Imagine being young women sent to a foreign country to help educate other young women. No language, very little money, and the knowledge that you probably would never see your own family ever again. Imagine being a Japanese young woman drawn to the idea of Christianity and Catholicism, attracted to this religion which your family perhaps didn't follow, and in wishing to commit to the sisters, perhaps losing your own family as a result, as they couldn't understand this, and perhaps decided that you were no longer a member of the family. Imagine during World War II having to hide as a community in the mountains of Nagano. And at night time, the Japanese sisters foraging for food in the villages to keep the Spanish sisters alive, because they were considered outsiders and nobody would feed them. And imagine that you make your way down from the mountains in Nagano and you set up that first school in Yokosuka in order to help some of the children whose parents were too busy trying to survive after World War II, or indeed who didn't have parents. If they can get through that, I think all of us can get through our current circumstances. So what do you have in common with these sisters, some of whom are long dead, and indeed the generations after? You know what you have in common with them? Is a sense of honor. Honoring God, honoring others, and in doing so, honoring yourselves. Honoring in how you treat others with respect and dignity. Honoring in how you treat yourself with respect and dignity. And as we look around the world, we see how current social, political, and health circumstances are highlighting issues and challenges, and we see how human dignity is being stripped away. We see a lack of honor and a lack of honoring, but there's always hope. A candle offers a ray of light and before electricity illuminated the world, a single candle can cast a light in the shadows. And these candles today that symbolize the four pillars, how immense is their light as they're cast around the world. So the challenge for you is to use those candles, to live up to the legacy of those gone before, to be a candle, honoring others, exposing injustice, illuminating knowledge. Live in challenging times, lead in challenging times, and love in challenging times. So again, I welcome you to the National Honor Society, and I wish you every success as you live up to the legacy God